This video contains elements that are not suitable for children under the age of 14. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, Sean Fay-Wolfe, Diamond X Studios here, and I'd like to welcome you guys to a very special video. Before we do anything, let me just apologize for the lighting. You can obviously see I'm in a different location. I'm up in Maine at the moment, and like an idiot, I forgot to bring my lights with me, so I just had to do it all in camera, and so I'm sorry if it doesn't look as good as it usually does. This is the best I can do. But anyway, as for this video, here is what we're doing here today. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but today, the day this is going live, August 7th, is the 2-year anniversary of when I first made this channel. My channel was created on August 7th, 2017, 2 years ago today. And so I wanted to do something for that, and I figured that this would be a good, it'd just be something good to do. And what is this? Well, you remember a little while ago when all of my videos got hit with all of those copyright blocks and stuff like that, and I had to go through and, manually fight all of them off? Well, luckily, almost every single one of those I was able to win the copyright claim against, because obviously all the videos are fair use. The one video where the dispute got shot down was ironically actually the first video I ever posted, that video being a review of Wild Thoughts by DJ Khaled, Rihanna, and Bryson Tiller. And so that's basically has not been available on the channel ever since that time. It's been very unfortunate because it's my first ever video. So I figured for my 2-year anniversary on this channel, what I would want to do would be to re-upload that video. Just go in there, remove the parts that were given the copyright spot so much hassle, and re-upload it. But I didn't want to just re-upload it by itself because I feel like my content has just improved so much since then that putting this random review of a kind of irrelevant song from 2 years ago in the middle of everything would just seem kind of confusing. So, in honor of my 2-year anniversary, what I've decided to do is to make a reaction video of me watching my first ever video for the first time in quite a while. I can't remember the last time I've watched this video, and like I said, I feel like my content has grown, developed, and improved substantially since this video was released, and so watching it again, watching my first ever effort to put a video online, I remember that I worked really hard because I wanted to avoid that whole people, when I made the video, I was cognizant of the whole people not liking the first video they put up thing, so I tried to make it as good as I possibly could right off the bat, and I worked on it for weeks and weeks in order to get it done. And so I'm not sure how much of that is going to go through. I will say that from the few clips I've seen when I was editing out the copyrighted parts, it definitely is aged. It definitely is one of those things where you can tell it's the first video that I ever made, and not just because I literally introduced myself and my channel on it, but yeah, some of the things I do in the video in terms of the technical side of things, you can definitely tell it's a first effort, but just how much of it's good, how much of it is outdated, and how much of it still holds up, I guess there's really only one way to find out, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch my first video I ever made, and I'll judge myself, and you can judge me too. And if you're interested in watching the video without my commentary, just watching the video right by itself without any of the reactive stuff going on, I have re-uploaded the video unlisted, and I have put that in the link in the description. So if you're interested in watching that video before seeing my reaction to it, you can pause the video here, you can go down, you can watch that in the description. Or if you just ever want to go back and watch it by itself, if you ever just say, man, I really feel like hearing Sean's thoughts on Wild Thoughts by DJ Khaled today without hearing him babble over it, then you can find that right down there. But with that, I think everything's just about all set to go, so let's stop wasting time and get this reaction on the road. 3, 2, 1. The following review contains strong language and profanity. Viewer discretion.
That's right. This first one I did had the had a different had the different intro. The intro I put at the beginning of all my things, the TBY14, that actually started with the Despacito review, which was my second one. And yeah, you could say I already had the intro. I've used almost the exact same intro the entire time I've been doing this, just with the cleaned it up a little bit in the 100 biggest song rank, but it's basically the same thing. Oh my god, the glasses. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's kind of weird to think that, like, I thought there would be any crossover appeal between the Elementary Chronicles audience and the music audience. I'm sure there's some, but it's, I really just felt the need to introduce that because I felt like that was the only reason anyone would be watching this in the first place. Oh my god, you can see the lights reflecting off the glasses. That's
The reason that I find pop music so fascinating is because it's the music of the masses. In a world where people
and the audio isn't as good either. That was when I was using the audio directly, the built-in microphone of the camera, which, if you don't know, that is not something you should do. You should at least get a clip-on shotgun mic for that. It'd be sometime, Sharona.
From the classics of
That's probably horribly off-key. I can't hear myself talking, so I don't know.
Fascinating to talk about popular music and to analyze what causes the public to latch onto a song.
That is true.
Something you can't believe actually got so big.
It's true. I still can't believe that actually was like. I still can't believe that pumped up kicks was actually a thing.
Got so big.
I'm sexy and I know it.
I love that one moment's reaction. Oh look, I took my glasses off for that one take.
Why did this one
You'd see them right there on the table. Not entirely sure why I put Cold by Cage the Elephant here.
I have a very eclectic taste in music, which includes stuff that's much.
That's very true, by the way. I still listen to. I have like one of the most eclectic tastes in music of like anyone I know. I've like literally never heard a musical genre where I haven't liked at least one song from it, and that's kind of still true to this day.
However, most of the content on this
I'm sure it's not the most eclectic of anybody I know. I'm sure there are people who live a wider range than I do, but still, I still think that that's something that might be lost since I exclusively talk about pop music here.
Sweet, sweet dope.
But enough honesty, I've prattled on long enough, so let's get to the review you came here for. Let's look at the Billboard Top 10 right now and see what there is worth talking about.
Yeah, let's look at it. This is a good song. I don't think I gave this enough credit. I don't think I gave this enough credit back in the day.
I'm not really sure what there is to say about it, though.
It's true, though. It's not much to say about it. It's just a
good topic for my debut episode.
I'm actually surprised the flow of the editing isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, of course, this one. A textbook example of a perfectly decent song that indisputably should not have stayed at number 1 for 12 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's the one where I screwed up in the middle of the clip and just edited the two together and didn't even pay attention to the massive audio skip in the middle.
This song is
I didn't think anybody would notice.
Stupid and admiral boring over the nation of country music. Many innocent lives have been lost so far, and the war is showing no sign of stopping in the near future. Pray for us. Next.
I feel like nobody ever looks at their early videos and likes the acting in the early ones. This was a good gag, though. Kind of like this one. I still have all those papers. Those papers with those words on them just sitting in the desk drawer. I liked Unforgettable. I feel like that one didn't get enough credit.
Wait a second. Wasn't it
It's definitely slower paced.
The one with the Santana sample?
Yeah, you can definitely tell I've definitely increased the pace of my editing since then.
Yes, that's perfect. This is the perfect way for me to start my reviewing career.
You can tell I was a little bit afraid to like do the expressions too big.
But it also has 3 different.
Which you can definitely tell that when I initially got over that fear, well, you know where that went.
There's only one other song in the top 10 right now that I have anything to say about, but I think I'll save that one for next time. So for now, let's dive in to Wild Thoughts.
I have to admit, I'm not cringing as hard as I thought I would. This is like, I don't know, maybe it's just because, that was kind of loud. But I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm remembering the fall 2017 and kind of blurring together all of the
all my early reviews, pre-2017 list together in that. So I don't know.
Nothing about the lead artist of the song.
Oh, look, my clicker is just sitting right there on the table.
Yeah, I really know next to nothing about the man that they call DJ Khaled.
That's okay, Sean, from 2 years ago. There's really not that much to know, honestly.
Just because I've never
And yet you're still going to talk about it for the next 20 minutes, aren't you?
I've only been listening to pop music for a few years now, and I've only been seriously paying attention since late 2016, so...
Yeah, I really only got, like, tuned into the zeitgeist of popular music back in,
cracks over the years.
what was it, probably 20...
Well, excuse me, I'm just going to go
14, 13? I don't know.
See what that gets me.
2 hours later.
Okay.
SpongeBob time cards.
Having now taken a
good
headfirst
tried
dive
and true
into the DJ Khaled discography, I can say without any shadow of a doubt that this guy is boring. Actually, boring isn't exactly the right word. A better one would be nondescript. After listening to a dozen
Yeah, I'd say that's still a pretty accurate description.
What DJ Khaled's sound is, which is
DJ Khaled just kind of
credit as a producer. Now, if you look at
does what he does. He doesn't really have like a brand. Well, he does, but like it's not like a sonic brand. Like, you wouldn't know a DJ Khaled song when you heard it if it weren't for the whole yelling his name out thing. As a matter of fact, I think I make that point sometime later in this video. Might be wrong.
Sort of electronic water drops. Even other producers who have styles that I have trouble putting into words, like Calvin Harris or the Chainsmokers or even David Guetta. You hear a song by them?
I still don't really know what Calvin Harris's style is, honestly.
I don't get that with DJ Khaled, though. If he didn't belt out his name with the start of
Oh, it's so cute that I'm talking about DJ Khaled like he's an actual producer here. Oh, yeah, here, I made that point. I will say, it's kind of weird, like, looking at this, considering the whole breakdown DJ Khaled had in the past couple of years.
I'm on One, which actually does have a pretty good beat and a nice introspective Drake.
I'm on One's a good song. I like that one. I feel like this is my favorite out of the, all those early era Drake songs. Like, Forever's up there too, but I'm on One.
Quickly forgotten.
My god, the editing is so slow. Like, I leave a pause at the end of every, like at the end of every clip that I say, which I don't really do anymore. I try to keep the cuts much closer together, which, if you're editing like a TV show or a movie or something, then you wouldn't want to do that. But for a YouTube video where it's literally, you can rewind or fast forward with a couple of taps of the screen, and that's like part of the format, then I feel like it's fine to cut faster.
Succeed in transferring that bombastic energy into his music. Even when his beats are pretty downbeat and chill, you can tell they were put together by someone who's having a lot of fun with it. And finally, I will say...
I'm honestly even having trouble remembering like that many of DJ Khaled's hits. Well, I remember his hits, but like the ones outside of his hits is what I mean.
Part of my binge study.
Another number one. 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 Number one.
I didn't put that compilation together. That was World Star.
I still can't call myself a fan.
Oh, World Star. How are you even a thing that exists?
Enjoyable as a person, may carry over into his music for some, but not for me. However, even if you are a DJ Khaled fan and you just adore every single beat he's ever
I don't even think DJ Khaled fans really exist.
His job is
and no, Little Sean, he's not an actual producer. He doesn't actually create those beats.
You have to admit that the song we're going to be looking at today has, well, let's say some unfortunate implications behind it.
Honestly, the thing that's making me cringe most about this is that this was in the era where I just like did not even touch my hair before I went on camera. Which, I mean, guess can't really talk now. I just jumped in a lake before coming to do this, but oh my god.
Khaled's latest smash hit, and I do mean the entire song, is built on a sample. This sample comes from the legendary guitarist Carlos.
Yeah, I genuinely wonder how many people actually knew about the Santana sample when they were listening to Wild Thoughts. Like, I'm willing to bet that it was like not a majority. Most people probably didn't even know who Santana was, honestly, back when they listened to that song.
If you don't mind, I'm just gonna play a couple bits from Wild Thoughts and Maria Maria back to back, and let's see if you can spot those similarities.
I will say this, Maria Maria has grown on me a fair bit, and honestly so has Wild Thoughts. I feel like Wild Thoughts actually does improve on Maria Maria's beat a little bit. It's like not enough to make the sample like any less egregious, but I actually like the way the two of them sound played together though. This is like kind of nice. Yeah, the Prodigy and Big Guy and Rihanna actually have some nice harmony together. I remember this part was the part where I showed this to my family and everyone just burst out laughing right here. Because back when I showed this to my family, they were like, what are you doing? You're talking about songs on the internet? Like, what are you doing there? And I felt like that moment right there, that gag right there, was like the first time they kind of understood what I was trying to do.
That's a staple of modern music.
I will say this though, I'm very glad that I now do the top 20 rankings as opposed to these individual song reviews, because it's, honestly, there are just not that many songs I have like a whole entire review's worth of materials about. Whereas with the top 20 rankings, you can just do a bunch of like mini reviews.
Thus making it a different interpretation of the same bass. And if you do make those,
I feel like that's one thing I do try to do, and even from the beginning you can see that is, I try to like paint something out in such a way where even if you're not familiar with the concepts I'm talking about, you can still understand it. That's like something I actively try to do when I put these together. I feel like I was kind of blatant there. You can kind of tell like I'm just outright stating what sampling is. I feel like I kind of integrate a bit better, make it a bit smoother these days, but you know, that's just evolution for you. You know, it's something you kind of learn the more you do it.
However, despite
California Love is, that's a bop.
Iconic songs of the 90s,
Adore California Love.
That plays through the entire song.
I'll admit that I don't listen to nearly as much Tupac as I should, but this is definitely, of the Tupac songs I've heard,
Invented by Dr. Dre.
It's just,
actually a sample of
I would say it's my favorite. Huh. Oh, I forgot the Woman to Woman was Joe Cocker.
And that's not the only.
I'm going to be talking about Joe Cocker soon. He's on the 75 list, and I got some thoughts on the song that he put on there.
Yeah, well, that came from here.
Oh yeah, this was the, that's got copyright claims, so that's got muted out. Good song though. It's like.
Incidentally, this was.
I honestly think one of the best things to come out of the whole like G-funk sampling era of hip hop was really the fact that it just. Those guys had good taste in music. You got to admit, they found some sick ass beats to sample.
Made changes to them. He takes the original piano and horn line of Woman to Woman and jacks it up a notch, while having Roger Troutman rework the chorus of West Coast pop rock into the gloriously.
This audio, like this audio quality is like.
Combined with Tupac-ing all over the song.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West.
He effectively changed the style and tone of the song from a funk song into a gangster rap song. Even though Dr. Dre didn't create the beat the entire song rides on, he and Tupac.
I wonder what Dr. Dre's up to nowadays.
Entirely new by changing.
I mean, he sold beats to. I forget who he sold to. Was it to Sony? I don't know. Oh, look at that! You can. I don't know if you saw there, but you could see me like at the second I'm done talking, I look away from the camera, and I just decided to just leave that on there. I still do that sometimes, but I don't use those takes because I can't like. That completely breaks any immersion.
Some sort of notable changes, but besides making it sound a touch more atmospheric.
Oh god, I look like such a dork with those glasses.
No difference between Wild.
I think there is a way I can wear glasses and make that look okay, but I have to like have the hair like matched up too, and that's just like.
I haven't actually said the names Rihanna or Bryson Tiller once since this review began. I've spent the entire time talking about the guy who made the beat.
I remember that plant. I had this that little plant. I had that plant that I got from. I actually got that from IKEA and just kind of put it on my desk because I wanted to put something on my desk.
10 out of 10 music critic.
I don't think
yeah, actually pretty decent gags in the early ones. I forgot about that. And yeah, here's more copyright blurring.
I'll do it fast.
I remember this one got copyright blurred because I literally just used a long, unbroken clip of the music video with like no pictures or anything, which I don't do that anymore. I always try to cut up the music video with something, not just to keep it interesting, but also to block copyright. Whereas with this one, I think I thought that my me talking would be enough to kind of interrupt the flow of the video to stop the bots. I don't even know if I was thinking about copyright. This was my first video, but I don't know.
Because
Yeah, Maria's growing on me. I didn't really like it for a while.
Happy with how the song turned
Honestly,
out.
I think I was just kind of influenced by the fact that the double agent said he didn't like it, and that kind of soured me on it.
Weren't quite so enthusiastic.
But it's the kind of song where you got to be in the mood for it anyway. If you just like,
They can't
if
help
you're
but
just,
lament that Wild
I can't believe that song was a #1 hit for like 10 weeks back in 2000 because it's just, it just doesn't seem like it has enough appeal to be a #1 hit for that long. But I don't know, I guess Santana could do anything after Smooth that they wanted to. So. The poor is getting poorer, and me and Maria on the
In
corner.
that sense, the lyrical content of
Again, I might be totally off key. I can't really.
more than really just a powerful love.
I can do that. I can do the whole perfect pitch thing where I can actually hear myself, but I can't hear myself talking as I do this, as I listen to this.
Copying it, that would be fine. But when the two songs are virtually identical in every way except
That's
the
true. I
lyrics,
can't believe
you
that
have
DJ
no
Khaled
choice.
really had the balls to just kind of like
Rihanna's verse is
rip off like the.
really thin, it's that-
No, not rip off. Obviously, she took it and
What was that line
reused
again?
it. He sampled it, but
No, you wanna see me naked, naked, naked.
is that line naked, 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 or naked, naked, naked? I don't know. Stupid either way.
And
This song has a
finally,
decent
talk
beat,
about
but yeah, it's like
Now, I
the
know
beat
we've
is
talked about
really
the-
almost identical to Maria. It's like
Since he's not too important on this track,
it's like if the riff was the only thing he sampled, that would be one thing. But it's just
because exactly what
the
it is,
entire vibe of the song is just completely copy and pasted
there's
onto
only
this one.
line in that.
I'd argue it's improved a little bit, but it's just like so similar.
Fuck you till you burned out, cremation.
Nice face, Sean.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
I have a few comments.
Yeah, I recently posted in the community tab about it.
Ew. Maybe it's just
Yeah, I recently posted in the community tab about like name the lyrics in hit songs that you can't believe weren't people actually bought, like the ridiculous lyrics. And that wasn't for any reason. I just kind of wanted to get a bunch of funny responses just for the hell of it. I'm kind of surprised nobody brought up like, you know, fuck you till you burned out cremation.
fairly confident
But
that
then again, nobody remembers
no
this
way
song exists, so
cremation
I don't
can
know.
be used in even a slightly romantic context. And no, that is not a challenge, Internet. Please do not prove
You can tell by the
me
static in the background that I intentionally like, or that I increased the volume of that a little bit because I guess I was talking a bit too quiet in that
wrong.
one.
You know, I was about to go on a tirade about the amount of friction it would require to literally set a person on fire and burn them from the inside out, but rather than doing that, I think I'm just going to close out with one more, slightly more vehement, ew!
Now that pipe gotta run it like she Usain.
You know what?
Okay, so let's
I'm
move on.
actually not hating this as much as I thought I would. It's like,
outside of that one line.
okay, that was bad. Don't use that voice. Little Sean, or young Sean, I don't know.
Despite the fact that he's the lead artist. And I think what obsessed me most is that he could have sampled any song in
Thing about this is, I legitimately did not know that DJ Khaled was like a whole, that he literally didn't do anything before I made this. I only found that out through researching this, and honestly, it was pretty much common knowledge to anybody in the know, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize this. They just think that he's like, well, I think a lot of people just think DJ Khaled's just another Calvin Harris or Zed, like a named producer. But no, and I feel like people didn't know that, and I was one of those people, so I feel like that's why I kind of like, I did not just hold that out just for a fake out, I legitimately didn't know. Oh, Game of Love. Game of Love is a great song.
If you wanted a pop hit to sample,
I feel like Michelle Branch should have had more, she had more success. She's got a really nice voice.
But no.
Really love the cover of Horse with No Name she did for the BoJack
All the
soundtrack.
boxes for 2017.
Oh my god, those glasses.
Something downbeat and chill with a laugh.
You could see the reflection of the squares and the lights like directly in my eyes. It's ridiculous.
Wild thoughts. Honestly, it's really not even that bad. But I still can't.
I put this as a dishonorable mention on my worst of 2017 list at the end of the year. And honestly, I really just did that out of principle because DJ Khaled just did so little work on it. But the song is just like not something worth really having any strong thoughts about it. I really only picked it to review because there's 3 different artists to get a lot to say about it. So, why did I mix the Law and Order sound effects so loud? Why didn't I like make that a little bit quieter?
Pretty badly on DJ Khaled. If you don't know the full story of what DJ Khaled does, you might think that he took all the credit for a beat that he didn't make and a song that he really has no active part in. I'll admit that's what I thought going into this episode. I thought that I might...
Alright, come on, Little Sean. What does DJ Khaled actually do then? Come on, tell us. What does he do if not
Maybe
that?
some of his other big hits didn't actually have beats made by him either.
It's one of my favorite vines of all time.
However, upon doing
I don't remember it was a vine,
I
but...
discovered that in actuality, I was completely right.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm serious.
That's right, actually.
A lot of DJ Khaled
Actually did come to that
were
conclusion.
not made by DJ Khaled.
A lot of those
Look
beats...
at I'm on One Again. It has 3 producers, and Khaled is not one of them. Similarly, he's not one of the 2 producers.
I feel like
all I do is
it's kind of wacky that T-Minus and 40 are still working nowadays. Like, and not only that, but they're still working with 40 still working with Drake and what's the other one? T-Minus is he was on he produced Middle Child, and I love the beat of Middle Child. I know a lot of other people don't, but I love it. The deafening silence
17 singles
until the static cuts back in immediately.
27 that I could find information for. And that means that roughly 1/3 of the DJ Khaled beats that you know and love were actually made by DJ Khaled. Now, to be fair to the guy, he's never...
I honestly forgot that he had actually
and he
produced.
does seem to have songwriting credits on most of the songs.
I forgot, yeah, that's right. I found out at the same time he actually did produce. I mean, the angle I took back then was that, oh my god, he only produced a tiny amount of his songs, but now I'm like, oh my god, he actually produced a tiny amount of his songs? Like, what? When did that happen?
The DJ Khaled song has a beat that was made by DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled's a producer.
Are you sure he produces?
90% sure.
So this raises the question.
Took me forever to find that clip because not many people care about DJ Khaled.
He's not a rapper, and most of the times he's not a producer. What exactly does this guy do? After digging around a bit, I found my answer, and I found this excellent video by Blackie Speaks that explains it pretty concisely.
Now,
Yeah, I wanted this video to be like make as good a first impression as possible. So I did a ton of research and tried to do citations and everything. Which I still try to do that, but it's like, but I wanted to try and do that like right off the bat. It's also kind of crazy. Like I now know how to do these transitions effects in After Effects, but I did not know how to do them. Like this interview, like with the very basic text transitions. I didn't know how to do those back when I started. This is literally the first Premiere editing project that I ever did, and that's one of the reasons it took me so long, because I was really teaching myself how to use Premiere as I was doing this.
He didn't write the book it was based on, and I
Oh my god, did that...
he was the one who actually built that ridiculous mechanical shark.
It's kind of weird though, it's like, DJ Khaled almost is like the director of a movie. Oh, pun most assuredly intended, I was doing that right from the start. It's one of the few running jokes that's actually kind of stuck with me throughout this whole thing. It's kind of weird though, like DJ Khaled really is kind of like a movie director.
The fact is, when you
good gag, Sean, but like, good gag, like past Sean, little Sean, but like, mix your sound effects quieter, good god.
He's good at
oh boy.
The right elements from the right people to create art, even if he didn't create those elements himself. Here's the question, is that okay?
Here's the bigger question. Does anybody care?
Worker of the hip-hop world make him worthy of the title spot on his music? Or is he just a con artist, using bombast and humor to disguise the fact that he has no talent? I'll let you decide
somewhere between the two.
I'd argue that it's somewhere between the two. I think the best way to describe DJ Khaled can be found right in his biography on allmusic.com. And I quote, "Cynics noted that Khaled rarely produced or wrote material and wondered if he did more than yell, self-promote, and flaunt. Meanwhile, others were having too good a time to care."
That quote really does sum it up. That's like, this is DJ Khaled. This is DJ Khaled's entire essence in a nutshell right here.
Regardless of what you might think of DJ Khaled on whole, Wild Thoughts is certainly a very good example of some of his more questionable traits as an artist. By borrowing a beat song that many people know and love,
definitely questionable when you had DJ Khaled basing literally an entire song around a sample. Yeah, I think that was like another thing that drew me towards it, is because that's like,
I will give
and honestly, that's kind of something I'm surprised that not more people didn't give it shit for.
To start a second Santana comeback, I will be more than happy to forgive it for all of its numerous faults. As someone who actually knew about Maria Maria before Wild Thoughts happened, I'm proud to say that the song...
I was about to say, like, nice being a hipster, but I guess I got that.
Santana's already come back...
Didn't catch that framing, though. I still shoved the camera directly into the face and had the entire half of my forehead cut off, so...
Nice job on that pass, John.
House music, the charts are starting to take a turn for the Latin.
Oh my god, that's right. Like, this was like right at the end of the tropical house boom when I made this. That's so weird. That feels like a million years ago. Oh my god, that framing. Why do you do that, Sean?
It was all started by one song, but we'll save that one for next time. For now, I'm Sean Fay-Wolfe.
Despacito really did kickstart like the entire Latin boom.
And I will see you next time. Take care.
Alright. I really should remake this title card. I used to have this whole like nicely done ending card that I used forever, but it's kind of updated since like I don't actually have a Patreon. I really should make one of those, honestly. But yeah, I gotta update that. Yeah, I don't really have much of a I really should have like a more uniform end card, because like I just kind of do something different every time now, which I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that is it's the first video that I ever made, a review of Wild Thoughts. Honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it was, or as I thought it was going to be. I don't know, I guess I just wanted to make a good impression. I had like all of that, like, and I honestly think that I did a decent job at that. I was, I worked hard to try and make it the best I could, and, you know, judge for yourself, but I'm happy. Good job, Sean, from 2 years ago. That was a solid start that you got there. And of course, that was just the beginning. Got been going for the past 2 years. I intend to keep going in the future, and so, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and also for sticking with me over these 2 years. I still love making these videos just as much as I ever did, and yeah, can't wait to make more for you guys in the future. I know that as of this video's release, there's a certain video you guys have been waiting for a while, but I promise you that that is well underway, and that'll be out very soon. So, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.